What's up, Monday Night Football fans? My name is Joe Cronin. This is the Joe Cronin Show. Tonight, if you're betting props, man, there could be a lot of different things that go down tonight. It could be a crazy night. I'm going to give you my picks, and then I'm going to give you the number picks. But tonight, man, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be rainy potentially. I'm still waiting for the full-on weather report going into it. It's 7:10 p.m. It's supposed to be really a nasty game out there. You got multiple wide receiver injuries and on Kansas City, and you have two of the best receivers maybe ever for the Tampa Bay Bucaneers. Both are out. Both are injured. That's crazy. Baker Mayfield has probably been he's been throwing 2 or 3 interceptions the last 4 games. Mahomes throws at least 1 a game. So, you're good probably to see a Mahomes and a Baker Mayfield interception, 1 on each side, most likely tonight, if not more, because of the nasty weather and the unsureness of throwing to some people that they may not normally throw to. And because of that, I really think, obviously, Otten is going to move up. I think Otten is dead on for a touchdown tonight. I think Travis Kelce, who had been sitting back a little bit as they reel him slowly and introduce him into the season, throughout the season towards the end, and they dial him back a bit until the playoffs. That's what the goal is with him. I think out of necessity, he's going to want to play a little bit more tonight. He's going to be needed to play more. Shorter throws tonight, the utilization of the tight ends. You may even see the backups, get involved in those tight ends. So those are things to think about on some of your picks. But again, I think that Baker Mayfield is going to top it off like he normally does. The guy just throws. You know what I mean? He's been killing it as far as the throwing, as far as yards go. So even regardless. So I'm going with my instincts here, plus with the generated numbers and the picks. I think Baker Mayfield is a great pick tonight for just that chunk of yardage and those numbers. He's probably going to do over 230 yards passing tonight, Baker Mayfield. He could be dropping a little bit. His real estate's starting to drop a little bit. Kareem Hunt could be a guy that's utilized a lot tonight because of the weather and because of the lack of wide receivers. We know how these teams like to throw, too. Patrick Mahomes is better under pressure, and Tampa Bay brings pressure pretty well. And Patrick Mahomes just does better under pressure. So one team is bringing more than normal pressure, and the other team does better under that type of pressure. So what does that mean tonight? I don't know. Does that make Mahomes better? It could potentially make him slightly better and could open up the field, or it could be a problem. But I think it's going to open things up. I think it's all going to wash, though, when it comes down to it, because even Kansas City is good at pressuring as well, and Baker Mayfield is also good under pressure in that same way. So I'm just going to say that those things cancel each other out, and I'm not going to worry about that. Plus the bad weather, so everything is going to be fairly equal tonight. I think some people think it's going to be a sloppy, terrible game. I think there's a potential that it won't be, and that it will be this potential shootout that we could see. Even with the weather, that both teams will still score 20-something points here tonight. I think Tampa Bay will probably score 17, and I think that the Kansas City Chiefs will probably score, 30 or 24. And I do think that this is definitely one of those games that could be finally they could lose a game tonight because it's so weird what's going on. But I can't bet against Kansas City to lose with the way that they've been going this year. Kareem Hunt over 16 rushing attempts tonight. So probably looking at about 20 runs tonight for him. So I would expect Kareem Hunt to hit 80 yards tonight, if not more, maybe 1 touchdown. And then definitely, like I said, the tight ends and the running game a little bit more than usual here tonight because of all the injuries on both sides. I think Cade Otton is going to just, I really believe Cade Otton tonight is definitely getting a touchdown. I think Travis Kelce and Cade Otton tonight are great picks. I think Kelce had been staying away from a little bit because they stay away from him, but I think tonight they're going to need him, so they may dial him up tonight. He might say, "Feed me the rock tonight," and they might do it, and that's going to be something that's going to be open. And so isn't Otton. I think Otton's going to get a touchdown tonight too. So I think Otton, Kelce, Kareem Hunt, Baker Mayfield, and Patrick Mahomes are just they all could be involved in your props bets and your picks. I think those guys are huge. Also, DeAndre Hopkins is coming in. We don't know what he's going to do, but the guy excels when he can get the ball. And tonight, Patrick Mahomes has got to get the ball to somebody. They've got all these injuries. They've got to go somewhere, and they're running out of receivers. They don't have all these people. And on the flip side of that, I think Hopkins is a risk because he's new. We don't know what he's going to do. So if you were to play a joker or a wild card, I think DeAndre Hopkins is a wild card. I think Jarrett on the side of Tampa Bay is their wild card. He could be somebody that steps up a little bit tonight, a little bit more than usual. He'd been getting, I think, 3 or 4 passes. Now he could go to, 5, 6, 7 maybe. So Palmer as well. So I think Jarrett and Palmer are 2 to watch on the Tampa Bay side that could step up tonight. Like I said, Worthy is an obvious choice. I think Worthy is like it becomes, I think, the number 1 receiver, I believe. So Worthy's another one. And definitely, as far as running on Tampa Bay, it could be White. It could be White that steps up over there. And again, with an ugly game, with bad weather, with rain, if both of these teams decide to hit the ground running and it's a low-scoring first half, you could see this, this battle of the running backs, this grinded-out run that could happen between White and between Hunt. And then you could see the passing game just sort of dips and dunks to the tight ends. And that's why I think that tonight, it's hard to pick, it's hard to go in one full direction because you can say the quarterbacks, you could just stay away from the quarterbacks if you really want to, but it's a risk because of how much yardage they get. But you could go with the running games, the tight ends, and the kickers, to be honest. And I still wouldn't go for the defenses. I might be sold on picking the Kansas City defense in my last spot on the prop bet. Like a FanDuel prop bet, I might go with the Kansas City Chiefs defense. I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win 24-17 tonight. That's what I think. If there was no bad weather and there weren't so many injuries, I would think this would be a potential 34-28 type of game or 34-31 type of situation. But I'll go a little bit lower than usual. But I still think there's a possibility that they could kind of set it off after a little while. Irving's a risk. He's in there tonight. He's going to play. So, again, if you were going running backs and you wanted Hunt, you wanted to go with White, and then you wanted to go with Irving on Tampa Bay. But, he's got something up with his toe. But, those are the nights sometimes where that guy goes off all of a sudden. They say, well, so much for the injury. Irving has scored 3 touchdowns, and he caught one. I don't know. Anything could happen. This is a crazy game to bet on. Crazy game to pick. It's just a wild situation tonight between Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kansas City in prime time, they just don't lose. They crush it on prime time. So that's the reason I'm taking Kansas City, because they crush it on prime time. They haven't lost this season. They're at home. And Patrick Mahomes, I just can't go against them until I see them lose and crack finally. This could be the night, but I just find it hard. All that stuff, I can't go against them. But it is a freak show of a night, and if anything freaky was going to happen, this would be the game. Both teams are banged up crazy. And again, like I said, they're both banged up, so it's not really going to affect one or the other. I really do think that Tampa Bay is at the bigger disadvantage because of their defense lacking. It's bad enough on offense. They don't necessarily know what they have yet. They've got a few weapons. That's why if you went all in on Kansas City tonight, but obviously you got to take one person on Tampa Bay, say you're picking props on like FanDuel or something, I would take Otten. I think that Otten is the pick. I mean, it could very well be somebody else takes a spot there or takes the mantle, but I just think Otten tonight is good for a touchdown. He might be good for 2, really, to be honest, and a lot of yardage. So, but what a crazy Monday Night Football tonight. Also, Monday Night Raw is on tonight. So if you guys want to talk about Monday Night Football, you want to talk about Monday Night Raw, you want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, leave it in the comments down below. If I'm back again later tonight, or I'm live tonight, or I do something tonight, I will respond to your comments and everything you say down below. Or, hey, test out Super Thanks. See if it still works. Can I even get Super Thanks anymore? I don't even know. Try it down below by clicking the heart button or the Super Thanks button or whatever that button is down below. And if you're brand new to the channel, I hope you guys subscribe, be a part of the channel. Yeah, it's going to be I think it's going to be a crazy night. I think these quarterbacks will throw for 250 yards each or more despite the conditions. And I do think that you're going to look at the rushing yards on this game might be up a little bit too because of they're just going to try to hit the ground, I think, a lot more. And the tight ends are going to see the tight ends I think are going to see a lot of play. So just be ready for tonight. It's such a wild game. It's going to be so weird. It's going to be exciting to see how it plays out, and it's going to be exciting to see what the weather is. Let me go to the weather report really quickly. Let me just see what they're still talking about rain. So if I go to the weather report, it's going to rain up until 10 p.m. So there's still going to be at 65 degrees. There's going to be a lot of precipitation. And yeah, looking at the cloud coverage, I mean, dude, and the wind is going to be not as big a factor as I thought it was going to be. Game time, we're looking at showers at 8 p.m., showers at 9 p.m., off and on, light 50%, so it's not going to be too crazy. And the wind isn't really going to be that big a deal. 5 mile per hour wind, it's going to be a little bit of a gust. It's not even that cold, really. I mean, 62 degrees out in the night game, you'll be all right. So, it's just going to come down to keeping the ball dry. Is it going to be a slippery ball? A little bit of a slippery ball, a little bit of a weird night. Everybody's banged up. Let's see what happens. It's Monday Night Football. I'm Joe Cronin. Click that like button. Please like and share this video and tell everybody about it. And let me know what you think. I'll see you later.